over here. Ready to roll.
Once I come back.
Yeah. See two more cars bidded this week.
You what?
You see two more cars bidded on that.
I saw one. I saw where one did.
I was, the girl yesterday was a 16, 17-year-old.
That was the one that I saw.
I like the state truck that went off the top of Colbert Hill.
Oh, that was state truck?
Yeah.
What happened to it?
State truck went off the
He
road.
was plowing the shoulder with a main plow and he got sucked in.
Over the shoulder?
Yeah, he drew him, he went over the bank a little
Yeah,
bit.
I know how that works.
I got a call, they said it was a truck on. And I was over and he said, yeah, I said, well, I'll go check it out.
18.
Yeah, so I ended up going up through it and driving up around.
Nothing there.
I'm going, where the hell's the truck? And I'm looking like, I just got up the top and I went to turn to back around to head back. And just as I pulled up there, I looked, you see him. He's just pitching down over the hill and the truck was sitting like this.
Was it gonna be a easy extraction?
Well, I ended up, came back over to do that because I went back over to East St. James. When I did, I saw one of their bucket loaders was coming up rooting.
Yeah.
So he pulled it down.
Good solutions.
Roll Tide.
Next, roads interesting there.
Yeah.
Got your lifesaver. I meant to print one before I came, but this works too.
All right, so we're live. We are live. Okay, call a meeting to order at 6:02.
Do we have Sue on the phone?
Sue is on the phone, yes.
Hi, Sue.
Hey there.
All right, first up is modifications to the agenda.
Yeah, I'd like to add a really other quick executive session topic.
Okay,
Under legal / contracts.
okay. All right. Anything else? If not, next up is approval of meeting minutes for January 12th, 2026.
I'll move to approve.
Second.
I would note that there's a typo, it's probably inconsequential, but it's on page 4 regarding bidding for, what was it, Madbrook? In one of the second or third paragraphs, it says Mad Book, for what that's worth.
Okay, all right. Oh, and I forgot to mention it, even though Hannah's not here, she's still taking minutes. She's
got the live stream?
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Yep.
Cool.
Okay, so, any other revisions? If not, all those in favor of approving the minutes of January 12th, 2026 with the typo corrected, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Those opposed? Okay, redetermination of 2025 COD.
Yep, I sent it to you in your email. The listers, it's just a formality. The listers just need the board chair to sign.
Oh, okay. So this is just, this is to ask the state to reconsider.
Yep.
Okay, so do we need a motion? I assume?
So this is the coefficient of dispersion. So essentially just the variance on town prices. And these 3 properties that are listed in their letter, they think that's gonna jar it up or down.
I don't know. I wasn't told.
Oh, okay. All right, well, I'll make a motion to approve.
I'll second for discussion. What's, never mind, I read it. I was just wondering what it is that we're being asked to do.
I'm not sure I totally understand it
Well, that's what
either.
I want to do.
What I could make sense of is that you have your CLA, your common level of appraisal,
Yeah.
but then you have your coefficient of dispersion, which is
Mhm.
essentially like your
Variance,
standard,
variation.
variance, standard deviation. So you still have a common level of appraisal, but I'm guessing because some of these properties, the percentage that they varied in their sale price versus their grand list value, their appraisal is so high that it might change that. I'm not sure if that's just a statistical thing, the listers do to keep the state updated on it and say, hey, you might have to tweak this. I'm not sure what it changes in terms of, taxes owed by the town, or how much, or whether our grand list value affects other funding sources. I'm not really sure.
Yeah.
Tim, if you have any questions, I would suggest you reach out on a Tuesday morning at 10 o'clock. The gentlemen are usually here to take phone calls.
Tomorrow morning.
Yep.
What is EEP?
That is, do I still have this document up? I was looking at this earlier today. That's essentially their, it's a statewide measurement of equity and home appraisal. Let me pull this up here.
I
History.
saw the COD portion. I don't remember the EPV.
Just want to make sure I can find it.
So, yeah. Because that's waiting for that.
128.
I downloaded that. I'm just looking for it.
Oh, goodness. Let me see if I can find it here. Here we go. Yeah, so it's your equalized education property value. So essentially takes all the properties across the state and equalize them in terms of education
Yeah.
funding.
Okay.
I don't know the specifics, but that's the Reader's Digest version. This isn't gonna trigger like a reappraisal of some kind now. This is just some little tweaking
Formality that they have
Yeah.
to do. Yep.
Are we doing this because the variation is greater than the 20% trigger value?
That would be a lister question.
Good Lord. But they need us to do this.
Mhm.
I don't even understand why we're doing it though, aside from they're telling us to do it.
I'm willing to trust the listers.
I am too. I
I'll
don't
go
think
that
this
far,
is,
but I want to be able to explain it and defend it.
yeah. I hear you, Tim. It's tough for me too, and I've got something in front of me that I don't, understand fully, but I feel like we just let this go.
Joe, just out of curiosity, is there any plunging hurry to do this tonight?
Yes, they're on a deadline.
Okay. All right. For future, I'd like to understand what this means.
I can share that with them tomorrow.
Yep. Thank you.
Okay,
So there's motion in the second round.
any further discussion? If not, all those in favor of taking this action, say aye.
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 Those opposed? Okay. Festival permit, fire department, continuation of 40th anniversary celebration on March 7th from 3 to 9. You have any idea what the continuation?
Fireworks and bonfire.
March what date?
March 7th.
Hmm.
I believe that's the weekend we change clocks too.
Good date for a blizzard.
Please don't.
Okay,
Move to approve.
Second.
any discussion? If not, all those in favor of approving the festival permit, say aye.
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 Those opposed?
Yeah. All right. So full thing, last page.
Oops. Okay, next up is driveway permits.
Daryl Matthews driveway permit. Jim has been in contact with Daryl Matthews and he has approved it. So it's now just onto the select board to approve.
Okay,
Jim, do you know if he needs a 911 address?
I have no idea. It's a temporary,
Well, that's what I thought.
it's just for logging.
I'll move to approve.
and the owner of the property is Dot Wilson?
Yeah.
Okay,
I'll second that one.
all right, any discussion?
Is this a formality or is there something unusual here?
No.
Formality.
We also have to have a discussion about that one of Piper's.
Okay, is that one, that's the other one that
I
we
didn't
got?
bring Piper's because the conversation Jim and I had this morning, it wasn't ready.
Okay.
I think that's the same.
Jim, did you have something you wanted to say about that one?
Well, he's gotta follow the guidelines. He's gotta follow the proper procedure, just like everybody else does. I've done the measuring. He fits the bill on the measurements for the 40-mile-an-hour road. He fits the criteria. He's been, either his agent or himself have been told twice that the proper procedure, which Lyle Holton's doing the work, and Lyle was a former road foreman. He's done numerous driveway permits, so he knows better than anybody else the proper procedure to follow. It's good to have it in writing, that way we know what the proposal is, and that way down the road, we've got it in writing. If anything changes, or if they try to change anything, we can revert back to, this is where it was supposed to go. But I told him over the phone today the same thing. I told him once before that he just needs to fill out the proper paperwork and submit it. I said, I don't see any problem with the permit itself as far as the driveway. He fits the criteria, but it's supposedly a subdivided lot, so it's not one lot.
That's 2 lots.
So it doesn't fall into the two driveways on the same parcel, so that's out. And then as far as the site visibility, he matches that too, both ways. He's got over 400 feet, so he only needs 305 for a 40-mile-an-hour zone. So he fits that criteria as well. The only thing that we're waiting on, which I think is important because we have that in place, everybody should abide by it. And that's the only thing I told him today. I said, just fill out the paperwork, get the paperwork into us. I don't foresee a problem with moving forward with it.
Okay, so he just hasn't, he's talked with you about it and everything's fine, but he hasn't submitted the paperwork.
Right,
properly.
but Piper's gotten in touch with you and he's getting all nervous about this because he wants to get the power put in, but
He can't do anything until he has a 911 address, and I can't give a 911 address until I have a driveway permit.
so,
If you all are fine with it, if you want to sign off on Piper's driveway permit without Jim's signature for now, and then once that paperwork is done and Jim signs off on it, but if you don't want, we'll wait.
Why, I'm not sure why we would sign.
I'm a little nervous about signing a,
I think there's certain protocol to
application,
follow.
Yeah.
Okay, that's fine.
Certain
Yeah,
protocol to follow.
Yep.
It's supposed to be done. Let's do it the right way. And then that way.
that's kind of where I'm at.
Have any problems down the
Put it
road.
on your agenda for February.
We can do that quickly. Jim, are Daryl Matthews and Dot Wilson, married? Just out of curiosity?
Related.
No.
Related, okay.
Really,
Why is this temporary?
because it's a logging operation.
And that's all they need it for?
They need an access point for a logging operation.
Does the culvert stay in all, and then come back out?
It will come back out when they're done.
I mean, time-wise.
It's my understanding that they were talking about in the spring.
Ends in the spring?
That's what they were talking about.
Okay.
He fits the criteria. He's done it. He's done. So, I went up and met with him, told him what my concerns were. He addressed those concerns. So regardless of how long it stays there, it is I considered it temporary, but it does meet the format for a permanent driveway culvert, even though I've got it listed as temporary.
Well, I'm just wondering if we're approving this as temporary or permanent.
Well, those are just my notes on it. As far as him abiding by the standards that I've set forth, he is abiding by them. He's put it in the way that it needs to be put in. So, I think it should be approved on the basis that it is put in the way that it's supposed to be put in. Very tight.
The state of Vermont would have no problem with this.
It follows the B-71 standard, which is our guidelines.
So did you say that he's already installed it?
Yeah, I met with him and I told him what he needed to do. He installed it the way that it needs to be put in. I signed off on it and you guys, need to approve it.
We're just talking about following procedure. Wouldn't procedure be that he needed permission through the select board before he
See,
installed
this
it?
is where that's changed. And that's what I was talking about in the email. Is that in 23, 24, when Lyle was doing it, there was a format, the forms were all the same. And the format was a proposal for lot lines, proposed driveway, blah, blah, blah. They pay the money. Then I go and I meet with either the homeowner or the contractor, their representative, whatever. I meet with them. I go over what needs to be done for them to satisfy the town and satisfy the state standard. We go over everything, make sure that I explain to them exactly what it is, give them a copy of the B-71 so they can reference. And then when they get that put in and it's complete, then I go back out to make sure that it is complete and it is put in the way that it's supposed to be. And then when it is, then I sign off on it. And then it goes to the board for approval. And then all of a sudden, out of the blue, now all of a sudden the format's changed. And I've got some from 2023, I've got some from 2024. They were put in exactly the way I just described. Now all of a sudden, there's a cover sheet that says that before it's even installed, the select board needs to sign off on it. Then when it's installed, then it just goes to the town clerk and it doesn't even call for me to go back and take a look at it. So if you guys wanna, if the select board wants to sign off on driveways and approve driveways, then you guys can feel free to do so. That's not up to me, but I'm just telling you the way that the format, the way it used to be, and all of a sudden now out of the blue, it pretty much excludes the road foreman from this. And it puts all of the decision-making in the select board hands. So they're handling essentially daily operations, the select board is.
I don't think it takes,
May I speak?
yes.
to that? So I went back and looked after Jim and I had spoke last week, and this letter, from what I can tell, has been in place since 2016. It's either been on the front or it's been on the back of the front page. It does state on number 4, the select board will make decisions to approve or disapprove the permit. Construction on the access shall not begin until the select board has issued approval for the use. Applicant should allow 30 days for completion for the first 4 steps. Like Jim said, he goes out, he meets with the owner, he does his thing, then it comes to you, and then the homeowner goes. One thing that I did know, since Jim did bring it to my attention, it used to be, in 2016, there was an amendment made that said that the driveway permit actually goes to the DRB first. That got changed to going to zoning approval in there. We have not been taking it to zoning approval, so from now on, it'll go to zoning as well for their approval.
I have numerous finished driveway permit applications that are done that don't have any of that cover sheet on them at all. So that's where I'm saying I can pull out 4 or 5 at the shop that don't have that on it at all. And they're even in the office the other day, I looked up one from 2024, I looked up one from 2023, doesn't have that on it.
So that being said, I too went back and looked, starting in 2018, we'll call it part 2 is the road foreman, part 3 is the select board. There were 16 applications that was on there. In that same time frame, part 2 being road foreman, part 3 being zoning, part 4 being select board, there were 19 applications. So there's a combination of both.
So,
So we're doing this a little bit out of order compared to history, or this is status
well,
quo?
let's read, I want you guys to read that whole new format.
It's not
It's
new,
not
I
new.
haven't changed it.
Well, I'm just telling you, we went over this the other day, and I'm just telling you what I know. And what I know is, as early or as late as 2024, I have a driveway permit application that doesn't have any of that on it. 2023, I referenced one in 2023, has none of that on it. I've got 4 or 5 at the shop that were done, that have none of that on it.
So the
But
only thing
let's go over it. If you wanna take 5 minutes, go over it and read it.
So the only
and
thing
tell me
that
what
could
you
be
think.
that there's a difference is there's one version online, and there's one version this version is the one that's in my folder in the office. So I was not aware that the one online was the old version. It has now been corrected, it's the new version.
But even in the old version has some of that stuff on it, doesn't it?
Yes, absolutely.
The only way that we can do this is pull up an old version, and then you will see the difference between the two.
I don't wanna do that work tonight if that's what you're suggesting.
Well, I'm just saying that way there, you guys can take a look at it, compare it, you can see the comparison.
Maybe we'll need to, but why does the select board sign off on this?
Well, I mean, that isn't really gonna change the approval of the permit.
Well, does the state require select board approval?
Does what?
Does the state require select board approval?
This-
I'm
this-
asking Deb as well.
This has really nothing to do with the state. It's a county, we've adopted the state standard since 2011, since the flooding that took place. We can, or I shouldn't say we, the select board has the, you can make it up any way you want. That's a guideline that you follow, okay? And we've adopted that standard, we follow the B71 standard, and we comply, any driveways that are being put in comply with the B71 standard. So, that's where we're at on that. But as far as the state approval, we don't need state approval, it's local level approval. We just go by the state guideline.
Well, this is about stormwater handling and
It's
Resiliency in the wake
water
of-
management, it's about sizing of culverts for the lay of the land. It's about making sure that the driveway is lower than the shoulder of the road, so that we don't create a situation where water runs in the road, and the roads are town road. There's things like that that come into play. And each individual driveway, each individual site is unique. So in some cases, even though 15-inch culvert is the minimum state standard, and our minimum standard, it might require a 20-inch or a 24-inch, 30-inch, depending on the water flow. Each one is unique.
If one of you would like to come down and visit my vault, I'll be happy to show you the 2 books worth of driveway permits we have.
In all of the completed permits should be in the town clerk's office,
They are,
correct?
Yes, yes, but I will say, in looking at them, there are a lot of them that never had a final sign off on.
Okay,
Final sign off from the select board or,
It just says on here, approved by select board or duly authorized agent.
but no physical signatures on the
No,
page?
there's,
Okay.
there's a lot that don't have final signatures.
so how does that work in the next flooding emergency if a whole bunch of culverts blow out and there's road damage and whatnot?
What do you mean by that?
If they haven't been approved by the select board, how does this work if we need to go back to FEMA for repair monies?
The ones you're talking about were all in Laos here.
There's 3 from 22, 3 from 21, 2 from 2020,
Yeah, there's
and
all,
a bunch from 2019.
everyone that I've had or done, I believe the select board had signed off on it. But that was before my time here.
but the select board signed off on it after you've already given them approval and they started installing it, right?
Generally speaking, that when they come in and Jim signs off on them, the select board usually within like the next week signs off on them.
Right, right.
It's a pretty quick turnaround.
I'm not questioning Jim's, training on what the appropriate size culvert and design is. I'm questioning whether there's a bureaucratic administrative issue in doing this in the proper way if it comes to a flood emergency in the future.
Bureaucratic issue meaning if,
Proper procedure.
so you're saying if proper procedure supposedly isn't being followed and
Does it jeopardize future funds?
I mean, I'm not sure how it would jeopardize future funds. From who? From the,
I'm basically representing the town, I'm the agent for the town. So, if you're talking about proper procedure and following and having the select board sign off, then I don't see what bearing the select board, unless you have an engineer or something like that, that would be overseeing it and signing off on it. As far as, the select board, you're gonna have different occupations and all kinds of stuff. You're not, I don't see how getting a select board signature is gonna in some way, stop any kind of thing in the future.
so I guess the issue here boils down to the order of operations, right? If the way it was done, always done, was that the foreman handles the interaction with the applicant, the construction company, and then once construction is completed, the foreman gives final sign off on it, and then it goes to the select board for approval.
Right.
And
But the step we've been skipping is zoning.
okay, so according to this, the step we're skipping is zoning, but it also says the select board will make the decision to approve or disapprove before construction
Exactly.
begins.
Right.
So, well, I guess what's the benefit to having the select board make the decision beforehand?
You'd have to read the policy.
We'd have to what?
You'd have to read the policy.
The policy on
There's a policy downstairs in my office.
what is it called?
I'll go grab it.
Well, I'm not sure. Is it like a policy on driveways or?
What are we gonna do about this application?
Well, I think Jim said that it's been put in properly, right?
Right.
Yeah, I mean,
So hindsight, it's done.
yeah, I'm not terribly concerned. I'm not concerned about this one. I just think we either need to change our procedure or follow it. I'm not saying which.
Right, and I think that's where there's been some confusion, because like I said, I've always, Lyle always did it that way. I've got applications from him, and I've done it the same way. And all of a sudden, out of the blue, I look at this new one and I'm like, where did this come from? This isn't what I've seen in the past. So that's why I said the other day on the email that something's changed, because it's not the same format as what I was used to dealing with.
And it changed, but it changed 10 years ago.
2015.
Well, it wasn't on any of the forums.
Town of Waterford ordinance regulating access to and the use of public rights of way.
Yeah.
Is what it's called. Went into effect November 9th, 2015.
Okay, so should we, because this one's already been installed,
I think we gotta
just take care of this one,
take care of it,
and we could,
come back.
if we could come back and discuss whether we want to change the policy or
Make sure we're
follow
following
what we got.
Yep.
So somebody have
I'll move to approve the, who is it, David Matthews?
Darryl Matthews.
Darryl Matthews,
forgot.
application for driveway access.
I believe I already moved that way,
Oh, you did?
seconded it, so.
Yeah.
Okay, sorry.
So,
All right,
Can you just sign off on it?
Yeah, so all those in favor of approving this driveway permit, say aye.
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 Those opposed? Thanks. Okay. T-shirts.
Mhm.
You sent,
Not knowing where you folks were on the t-shirts, I asked Heather to reach out to one of her small business, contacts.
Yep.
And this company Performa did, and this is the quote that I had. After speaking to Ron, I found out Wade was also diving into it. I did reach out to another local company, I've not heard anything back from them.
So after I spoke to Deb the other day, and she so kindly reminded me, I reached out to two other companies, one that the state goes through, and I don't have the name, still waiting for two quotes. The lady did tell me, so the ones that I were looking at look a little different than
Okay.
these. They have, they're the OSHA approved, they have the safety down the side.
Reflector?
Reflector.
Yep.
Both, so if you guys are out there in the night or whatever, with the emblem, both sides, it was like 16. She's gonna give me an official quote, but it was like $16.50 a t-shirt embroidered with the Waterford on there.
For what quantities?
It doesn't matter with them if you buy one or if you buy more. I mean, the type of work you're doing, I don't know what we decided on, but they're gonna get dirty.
Yeah.
We're not talking about a lot of t-shirts, but that's a significant price difference from what Deb's presented to us.
And if you wanted to have the t-shirts for the transfer stations, they don't work at night, so they don't need the reflective piece.
yeah. And what we were doing, it was just gonna be the Waterford emblem on them. It's not, it doesn't say highway
I think it was
department.
gonna say Town of Waterford.
Town Waterford.
The reflector strip action is a great idea for t-shirts. Anything that increases safety sounds great in my mind, but we're talking about wearing t-shirts, which means what? Summer weather, which means long daylight. So I guess I'm asking if that's actually necessary. Otherwise, the t-shirts will be buried under winter gear.
I was also wondering some different things. Do we want long sleeve t-shirts in the winter?
We're only getting a certain limited amount. You might just well get short sleeve.
Well, because you guys are gonna be covered up in the winter anyway, right? You're probably gonna be wearing a jacket over it.
Right. Are we gonna just?
I have a question, Ron.
Sure.
Wouldn't screen printing be better than embroidery as far as, getting dirty and all that? And cheaper, screen printing would be cheaper, but
Yeah.
Has anybody reached out to Rick Wheeler?
I've not heard back.
That's one that I
Because
did
he does it.
That's one you did too, and
Yeah,
hadn't heard.
I didn't
I
get
haven't heard
anything.
anything back.
Okay.
There's one in Montpelier that I reached out to just because I've been through the past and they were slammed. So she said she would get it to me as soon as possible.
So do you wanna just put it on the agenda for the next meeting, so we've got more info to go with, or what do you wanna do? Or do you wanna go with?
Yeah, I would recommend that, but how many are we?
He ended up saying 5.
Okay.
I don't think the transfer station would need that many.
No.
No.
Just a Saturday?
Yeah.
I presume we're just buying the right size for each individual?
And then if you wanted to have some extras on hand,
Yeah. Jim, you're a petite, right?
All right,
You are a petite.
yes, definitely.
Okay. You said the one that state gets our embroidered, is that where Sue's question came from?
No, I don't know. Sue got that, the ones that I went after were the safety reflective,
Okay,
because we have to do the OSHA.
okay. All right, well, I know we've been putting this off for a while, but probably ought to wait till we, I don't know.
At least we're getting closer.
Forget,
Well, it's only been 3 years.
Right.
what's another couple of weeks?
Exactly.
And that's why I had Heather reach out. I was like, can we at least put this to bed?
Yeah, well, at least it's finally getting things started, I guess. So is that okay with everybody? Table list till February 9th?
Yeah, I guess
Get more
another 2 weeks
information.
isn't gonna hurt, but I would have been willing to do this tonight, but I'm happy to wait.
About the rest? Wait,
I'm okay with tabling it.
okay. All right. Do we need a motion for tabling or no?
I don't think
We
so.
can let it die on the floor.
Okay. All right. Next up is wage increase effective date. There was, I guess, a failure, well, not a failure to communicate, a misunderstanding in the communication. Because when the wage increases were approved on December 1st and December 8th, after the December 1st meeting, Will sent an email to Marcel. I don't know if it went to, I didn't look it up, whether it went to Heather but to inform them of the increases. And the email said effective the first full pay period in 2026 or in January or whatever it said. And my email after the meeting of the December 8th said the same thing. Well, what Marcel did was he made it effective January 1st. Okay, so do we, I don't know what the board wants to do. Do we, I can tell you that
Did he make it effective January 1st or effective the first full week in January?
January 1st, I believe, wasn't it?
No, I think it was,
Not in my
I think it was
paycheck,
the
it was.
first, the second pay period
The second week of the
of the
paycheck, you mean?
I don't believe so. A mistake was made on yours
Yes.
if it went into effect January 1st, but I believe, do you know on yours, Rick?
I didn't really have a good chance to look at it myself. My wife looked it over and she had some questions about it, but she couldn't make it tonight.
Okay. I believe it went into effect January 1st because everybody got including Jim, I think. I think you got paid at the new rate for the holiday.
You can't figure it out, because you
Yeah,
don't.
that's
know.
another thing that we need to look at.
But you didn't get a raise.
Let me,
You got the COLA.
I'll show you guys another thing that we were talking about on the
No,
email.
you didn't. I
These
would hit the
2 week pay
farm.
periods are very confusing, the way that they're done, because one is a mirror of the second. They're not.
They're not individual.
See this one right here? That's the first week. That's the second week. The second week is a mirror of the first week.
I presume you had different hours between the 2 weeks?
Yes.
Yeah. Look at that one. Same thing. First week, second week.
All right, so we've got a couple of different errors potentially. We know we've got one.
Right.
Deb, what's the,
Yes,
I just looked it up.
Yeah.
I just looked it up, and it was, he did the old rate for the first week that started in December, did the new rate for the second week that started in January. So.
I don't believe so. I've looked at this pretty carefully.
See, so
Okay.
here on this one, the pay
I-
period was 1,
I-
2,
I-
26. So that one
I
there would
believe
be
there
the
was
2 full weeks.
3 days in
that were
December
in
and the
January.
rest was
So
June.
the pay should be increased on that one. But you see how this is a mirror? 40 hours, 13, 40 hours, 13.
This just looks like it's a repeat.
It
It's the
is.
same dates and everything.
And that's exactly what I'm saying, is you can't keep track of your pay periods when they're mirrored.
But they're the same checks too.
Exactly.
Yeah,
I
they both,
don't even know what to make.
they're
of that.
combined. That's what they are. They're 80 hours. Yeah,
Well, it was
Ronnie, you
not
looking at the same thing I am?
because this one's just a mirror of the first one.
yeah, I know they both, but they say 80 hours regular and then overtime. Yeah, they're the same. Yeah, I can,
See this one here,
I'm assuming.
40
it's the
hours.
oh, that one's 40.
40, 13. Same date,
Same check number too.
everything's the same.
Yeah.
So is this all of this?
That should be a 2-week pay period, but you can't keep track of what the,
Yeah.
how your pay is because you can't see the
Okay,
difference.
Another thing, Ron, I just texted you a copy of it that shows 40 hours at the old rate, 40 hours at the new rate.
are you just looking at Jim's?
Well, that was Jim's,
They're
but
all,
that's how it was laid out. He did 1 week that started in December at the old rate, and the second week in January that started on what, the 5th?
Mhm.
Yeah, but look at somebody's other, I know Jim's is messed up.
I have this all in front of me here. It's the same for, Sean Gilbert. We've got, time on the first week at 25.63 and then time the second week paid at 27.35.
How many hours though?
Well, that's the hourly rate.
No, yeah, but I mean, what he did was he paid the first 3 days of the first week on the old rate. So you're gonna see the old rate and the new rate on everybody's.
Yeah, you can't keep track of it. The way-
I agree with you. That's
Because
very
the
confusing.
COLA showed up, but the raise didn't at all.
The COLA was
Yeah,
supposed to show up on January 1st or the first full pay period?
Either or, that didn't show up.
Per both of our motions, the COLA and the raises were effective the first full pay period in
Okay.
January.
And we should have said in the email,
You should have said it.
January, which begins January 12th, 2026.
Hindsight.
And the reason we did that is because, so we wouldn't get into the mess. And I'm not saying that, to make it easier, so you're not splitting up different pay rates within the same pay period. But it wasn't done that way.
Now, so
Well, did you say the first full pay period in January?
Yeah.
Because this one here is for the pay period 12/28/25, but it was paid in 1/2/26. So
That's
this one would be the
full.
full pay.
No, the full, first,
That's how we read it too.
the first full pay period is supposed to be
Starting,
it's a pay, I would think
You were
Wade
talking.
as a state employee.
And it's confusing to understand, I get.
But the pay period entirely falls within 2026. So the pay period ending January 11th began on December 29th. So the whole pay period did not fall within 2026. So that, it was supposed to start January 12th.
we have to examine how the term pay period is defined. Again, our motion specifically said pay period. If you look at the personnel policy, it is still defined as a recurring length of time over which employee work and leave time is recorded and compensated weekly, starting on a Monday at 12 a.m. through Sunday at midnight.
but our pay
So-
period is 2 weeks now.
We're paying them bi-weekly, but our pay period is still defined as weekly.
Well, that's because you're in the personnel
I
policy.
am, yes.
That was one of the things that Sue is gonna get corrected because that's in the definition part, correct?
Yes, either way, I don't think Marcel got this one wrong. I think he got it right. I think he followed the personnel policy.
Well, no, because if you go by that, he would have started on January 5th. He started it in the middle of a week.
I'm not sure he did. Like Sean's is weird for
did.
that week because he only worked 19 hours one week and 40 another. I'm not sure if he took time away for anything there. But if you look at Rick's, right, he's paid for 37 hours at $29.18, and then he's paid 43 hours at $30. That's his COLA right there hitting. So that's essentially 1 week where he's not before the COLA and 1 week with the COLA. And it's the same on Jim's.
I don't,
But
It's-
Jim didn't get the raise. He got the COLA, but not the raise.
what is the rate shown for Jim on the
It,
second?
it shows 3214 going to 3404. 3214 times 0.028, I believe, gets you to 3304. 3214 times 1.028. Yeah, it gets you 3304. Add $1 for the raise. That's 3404.
What was the COLA?
It was
2.8%.
2.8%. So it was a little under $1. It was like 90 cents. It was 90 cents an hour.
So now, the question at hand is, where's that one? Is, the thing is, so the pay period,
Hang on a second. I feel like we're trying to solve two problems, and this isn't one of them right now. And I don't mean to be abrasive about it, but I think it sounds like it's more of an accounting problem that works out through Marcel. We're trying to figure out something else here.
Right, but I emailed the board, emailed Marcel, and we got no response.
Well, that's the next problem, but
Yeah,
it's not this
you got a
problem.
response from me.
I didn't get a full response.
because we were asking about, one of the questions was the pay period ends in 12/28/25. So that's the year he worked in 25, but the check was on January 2nd. And that started, you can't pay for work you did in 25 and get paid in 26 and have that the start.
And have that be the start of,
Paying, he worked 2 weeks,
yeah.
well, all the guys worked 2 weeks in 25, the last 2 weeks of December.
Mhm.
And then the pay, how do you explain it? The check was cut in January,
Mhm.
and it's saying that in 2026, the last two,
Income.
the income from 25 started in 26,
I see what you're saying. So,
which you can't do that because the 25 income has to stay on the year 25 for taxes.
so I see what you're saying. So it was earned in 25, but
Yes,
it was
last
paid in
2026.
2026.
And
Yes.
it was, income was accrued, gross was in 2026 for what was earned in 2025. And according to the IRS, you can't do that.
You
You
can't,
have to, what's earned in 2025
stays in
gets
25.
taxed in 2025, it's
No,
income
that's
in
not
2025.
No, that's not true.
Well, she
It's-
talked to
it's
the
when you're
IRS
paid.
person, that's what they
It's
said.
when you're paid, not when you earned it.
Yeah, because even the second one would be, you would have days in,
Well, she got in touch with the IRS, and the IRS guy said that if it was income from 2025, it's taxed in 2025, you pay the tax.
It's
in
income when it's
2025.
paid to you, not when it's accrued.
Yeah.
He said if
He said
there's
it's
an
earned.
issue there, he said call, because he said you will get in trouble if you put it on the W-2 for,
The state of Vermont
2026.
is the same thing, so I don't know.
Does the same thing, what?
The same thing, basically, we don't get paid for some of December until January. So,
They said it wasn't
That's
state,
always-
it's a federal.
no, but what I'm saying is, any place I've ever worked, that's how it works, because you work till the end of December, you don't see that check till January.
And
And
then
that just goes on the next year's pay.
Yeah,
That's when it's
that's-
paid
that's
out.
so
What I'm
according
used to.
to, who,
Okay,
I don't know who you talked to,
I
but
can-
he was an
I can
IRS
give you the
person.
information.
Yeah,
I don't want to talk to the IRS.
I'm not going to talk to the IRS.
everybody got real quiet.
okay, and going back to when it was supposed to be effective, I don't think Marcel did it the way we intended, but
Oh, that's clear.
I'm
Was it
not,
correct?
I'm not saying that I think we should, I don't know. If, I'm not saying we take money back.
I think this falls on a communication.
If
No.
there's, I don't think it's necessarily a communication, well, it is a communication issue in that we specifically use the term pay period, not once, but twice in both the COLA motion and all the pay raise motions we gave. When we used that term in the personnel policy, it's defined, the pay period is defined as a week. We pay them bi-weekly. We pay them for 2 pay periods as defined in the personnel policy. We're using like a colloquial pay period term here, and we're using, and then there's the technical term.
Will, is your argument then that
That was
My argument-
just because it didn't get changed.
Yes, but that's still what we have
Yeah,
to follow until it gets
and-
changed. So I don't think we can put this on Marcel. I think he did this strictly by the policy. I think he did this correctly.
he was consistent?
Yes, it may not have been our intentions, but he
Do you
did it
have any idea what
correctly.
the difference in the impact this has to the budget? It can't be huge.
No,
It is-
has no impact on the budget. You're talking $190.
It's actually more than that.
Oh, is it? Okay. That was.
What, Marcel calculated that, and when I questioned on it, because I came up with originally $150 some odd dollars. He said, well, I didn't, and that really confused me, and I didn't want to go there, but he said, well, I didn't, the COLA started on January 1st. The additional raises didn't start until later, which I don't believe that, and I don't know why you would split them up with somebody who's getting a COLA plus a raise. So, but it's still, we're talking, I came up with, and maybe I'm wrong because nobody seems to agree with what I'm saying on that. Well, the only thing I didn't have is I didn't have, the only person's time card that was attached was Jim's. I didn't have Rick's or Sean's because there was a little mix up with the scanner or something because we got it in 2 parts, but we're talking, I came up with $316 and I think Jim is owed another 42 something. And there would be a couple of weekends that the transfer station people work, they haven't
Well, they haven't been paid.
been paid,
They don't get paid till the end of the month.
but the total impact of it, I came up with $384.
Heather agrees with me, 190.
Well,
She's watching.
I don't believe that's true.
So what is your end game here?
Where I didn't know we were gonna get into how the pay stubs look. That's something I think we need to look into. But
I think that's a software thing, it's a numeric thing.
Let's not.
that's for another time
Yeah,
to try to correct.
But
But
I mean, we're going, and this is just compounding, and it's 2 weeks at a time, and it's our pay, and we kind of want to keep track of things, and so.
yeah, no, I
It's
agree. That's not
important to
clear.
us.
Yeah. Oh, I know it's important. It's important to see what.
Right,
But
and there are other discrepancies in there, so at some point in time.
So I'm of 2 minds on this. I always like the idea of our staff getting paid more, but I'm also a proponent of fiscal discipline, and we had intended a certain thing, which was the benefits and the COLA increases at the first full pay period. I understand the miscommunication, and I think that makes it unclean for us to demand that this get corrected. But again, I stand for fiscal discipline, which means getting it right. I think it's possible Marcel did get it right. I see that argument. I don't know that I'd be willing to vote to take the money back to correct this issue to make it what we intended, but I'm only one voice here.
I would agree with you.
I think I'm kind of with you. You're basically saying that it was not our intention that it be paid out this way. We made the motions we did that made it get paid out this way. We kind of just have to eat this as a mistake and move on.
I think so.
I'm putting a mistake in quotes because,
A miscommunication, I think is more accurate. We intended something, Marcel read it another way. I don't think he's incorrect. It's not what we wanted. Lesson learned for the board.
How do you feel, Sue?
I'm okay with letting it go. But I don't think it was done the same for everyone, because I did just send you the gym one, and his was one rate 1 week and one rate another week.
Yeah.
It wasn't January 1st.
Yeah, no, I agree with that.
So it should have
But-
at least been consistent among employees.
That would be fair.
Did you look at,
it is consistent among the town office though, because if you look at Deb's and you look at Heather's, and I haven't looked at Marcel's yet. Yep, if you look at Marcel's, there are some hours they've worked on the old one, some hours they've worked on the new one. I think it's hard to tell what hours they worked on certain days because it was a holiday, right? You guys have.
And I don't work on Fridays.
Exactly. You guys have weird hours around the holidays. So that's going to be hard to discern just from looking at this document. But just from looking at Jim's and Rick's, because Sean, it looks like he may have taken some time away in there.
some sick leave or something like that?
Yes, and possibly some other
See,
time.
he was complaining too that sick leave got put on 2026. And he took it in 2025 to finish out his sick time that he had. He called in sick in 2025. It should have gone on 2025.
Well, it shows it at the 2025 rate, the 2563.
I'm saying.
But it's not
Marcel
accumulated.
Deducted it off from 2026 sick leave.
Oh, I see.
40 hours. He
I
should have
see,
40 hours in
because it's a,
2026.
oh, that's
He had
weird.
13 hours, he told me, 13 hours in 2025. He took some sick leave, he called in sick in 2025. That 13 hours should have got burned up on that in 2025. Instead, Marcel took the sick leave that he took in 2025, he rolled it into 2026, so he deducted out of his 40 hours in 2026, 13 hours or whatever. I don't know exactly what the number was, but that he was complaining to me about that it got deducted out of his 2026. And I didn't get any in 2026. I'm still running 40 hours and 40 hours taken. I have 0 sick time.
Which would make sense per the policy, because the policy says it accrues as you work.
Not the sick time.
Not the sick time, it comes in all at once.
So
Okay,
that needs to be added in.
yeah, but that's.
Right.
Do you still have the payroll?
I have it in front of me.
Just look at Jim's on the holiday. What rate did he get paid for the holiday?
3404, but is that not New Year's? New Year's Day?
Yeah.
I believe New Year's Day is the holiday, not New Year's Eve, so that'd be.
Oh, yeah, I know, but I'm just saying.
Oh,
They paid him at the new rate for the holiday, but he paid him his 40 hours of regular time on that week, all under the old rate. So I believe he is, I could be very wrong, but I've looked at it quite a few times. But anyways, I guess the consensus is, after all this haggling, that I don't know if we need a motion or not, but we're just gonna say, well, chalk it up to experience, and next time be clear with when you want something to start.
yeah, we gotta be tighter with our wording of our motion there. I think that's entirely on us.
I accept that. I think that because there is an allocation of monies, unintended as it is, should still be subject to an action.
Okay,
An action of what kind?
Motion to approve the unintended pay increases of COLA and pay raises beginning the first full period of the new year rather than the paycheck period we had intended.
I'm not sure if that needs to be moved because it technically already has been moved at the December meeting when we approved everything, because that's what
Right,
kicked
but
all
there's
this off.
additional
I think
monies
we-
on the table.
Well, per what we approved, it's not. That's exactly what we approved. So I think we just have to acknowledge it. I don't think a motion needs to be made to reapprove it.
No,
It's
that's a
already been
point.
approved. I think we just need to acknowledge it, which we seem
All right,
to
I'm
have.
good with that.
No, I think we do, because as much as you say that it just started the second week, I don't believe it did. It started, at least Marcel told me he's started January 1st, because if you look back at the minutes of the meeting of December 1st, there was discussion about the budget, about the cost of living, and Heather mentioned this January 1st. So that's what he went by for the wage increases. I think we need a motion to say that, well, we didn't really approve that last payroll. There were 3 of us who didn't approve it. Couldn't we just do it by saying we approve the payroll ending January 11th?
You're saying essentially just approve the payroll because we didn't have a quorum that approved.
A majority.
Yeah,
Yeah,
because if I pull that up, I believe I was the only one who had approval on that after all the dust settled. So I'll make a motion to approve that payroll, that check warrant.
Do you remember which one it
So I would
was?
say go back to your email, do like you normally do, approve it that way, and then there's documentation.
Okay, that works.
All right.
It's
Yeah, we can do that.
check warrant 21-819. It was sent on Tuesday, January 13th. You'll see a very large chain of responses. I don't know if, did Sue withdraw hers?
Sue withdrew her approval, didn't you, Sue?
Yeah, she would.
I can go back in, so you want us to do it our normal way with email?
Yeah, I guess so.
Yeah,
So
if
it's-
that's preferred by the town office, we're allowed to do that.
Do that.
Okay. All right, and some of the other things about how the
Calculate that.
Okay,
Tell me
so
what
I would suggest that one of you meet with Marcel, and not tomorrow though. And, you can see what his options are and how pay stubs are produced.
okay. All right. So we're done with that one, I think.
So who would you like to have meet with Marcel?
I would just as soon, unless somebody else wants to. Because I've looked at it quite a few times.
Okay, so
It's fine with me.
plan on Thursday or next Tuesday, I'll check his schedule,
Okay,
and I'll get back to you on that.
Thursday. Yeah,
So are we approving by email or not?
yeah, by email, yeah.
Okay. got it.
Yeah, I'm just gonna meet with Marcel to go over, one, what the options are as far as pay and see if we can come to an agreement about who didn't get paid for what in that first pay period.
I just resent it, so it should be the top of.
So I did the math and it's 3309, which is the average of the new rate and the old rate.
I'm responding right now, and then all you guys can piggyback if you want.
Okay,
7:30?
all right. So next up is agenda items for next meeting.
T-shirts.
And hopefully driveway permit.
T-shirts, Bill Piper's drive permit.
Yeah, which is.
Do we need to put on the agenda the Vermont, the email we received from, I don't remember the gentleman's name, about requiring asking for a traffic study on Vermont 18? Did everybody get that?
I saw it.
No,
I'm happy to talk about it.
So I wasn't involved in that.
Yes, somebody asked for a, I don't remember his name, but asked for a traffic study on this area of 18 from just east of, or wherever Vermont 18 north, south, east, north, south. Anyways, just that side of the intersection of Lower Waterford Road out to the New Hampshire border. Yeah.
Will, do you have anything you want on the next meeting agenda?
I'm not gonna be available for it. I'm gonna be out of.
You can't call in?
No, I'm not gonna have cell reception. I'm gonna be on a boat.
You're gonna be on a boat.
Yes.
I don't recall the board approving that.
Town garage, renovations. I think we were gonna discuss the memorandum of understanding.
Just the memorandum of understanding or additional research that Will and I have done with other potential ideas?
Are we talking about the same thing?
You said town garage.
Well, yeah, I moved on from that.
Okay.
I said to put the town garage on there, but no, the memorandum of understanding with the schools.
I see.
Oh,
We are talking two different things then. Yeah.
was Sue writing up an MOU?
Sue you were gonna review it.
Yep, we were sent MOUs and we just need to look at them and make sure that there's nothing in there that we don't agree with.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay.
Do you want someone to look into the driveway process?
Oh.
I mean,
That entails coming in and looking at documents that you have, Deb. I'll volunteer for that.
Okay. Oops, I gotta check. I got a email from. There you go. I think I got one from Hannah. I don't know if it's something that. Okay, no, that we can. I thought it may be something we needed to do tonight that she was reminding me of. Anything else for the agenda?
So for town garage, are we talking about formalizing the language, or are we talking about the other potential options, which might mean building new?
I think we were gonna talk about other options.
Okay. I'm happy to talk about everything, but I want other options on the table for
Yeah.
discussion.
No, I think you and Will were gonna check with other towns,
I have some unbelievable information.
and I was supposed to check back with the architect, which I haven't done yet, but.
Okay.
Okay, anything else, sir? Do we need anything more on Smith Road? You didn't talk with Daryl, did you?
I did talk to Daryl. Daryl actually today, he told me that he flew that thing out for me. He said, I didn't do it for the town. He said, I did it for you. He has shown no interest in it. He said
Okay.
after the way that you and Warner treated him, he's not interested in doing any work for the town. That's what he told me. So, and I said, I tried to get a price out of him. I tried to get him today to see what it would cost to do our end. And
Yeah.
he wouldn't give me.
No, that's fine. We'll find somebody who would like to do work with that.
this is referring to, I'm sorry, I was communicating with Sue. What was this referring to?
Smith Road,
Road.
we were gonna,
Him taking over the plowing of the town highway on
He
a
wasn't
contract. He wasn't interested? Yeah, that doesn't surprise me. Did he mention anything about if it were no longer a town road, would he enter into a negotiation with the landowner?
I didn't, we didn't do
I was gonna say, that's neither here nor there.
that.
okay. So we don't need anything to do with Smith Road on for that next meeting, is that correct?
No, I don't think there's anything that needs to be done on that until, or frankly, that can be done on that until the snow melts. Even if we do engage in a discontinuance process for whatever reason, or classification or discontinuance or otherwise, we have to do a survey, and we can't do that until the snow melts.
Yeah, my only thought was mostly thinking about whether Daryl was interested in doing it. But the other thing was, if none of the board, maybe the board doesn't think we ought to discontinue, we don't need to pursue it, but.
Well, I don't know about discontinuance, but I know it's a tricky process, and I'm surely not gonna say so now. I don't like the idea, but let's keep options open.
Okay, all right, so I guess, do you have anything to add, Sue, to the agenda items? Sue?
No, nothing to add.
Okay, very good.
Move to enter executive session for
Yeah.
personnel.
Somebody, you made the motion?
I did.
I'll second.
All those in favor of going into executive session for personnel and legal contracts, I guess?
Yep.
Say aye.
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 Those opposed?
All right. Merry Christmas to all, and to all a good night.